key messages, first of all, from me, and this decision has been made after very long and careful consideration, and will secure the best possible ferry service for us long into the future. The new partnership with DFDS will deliver new investment, including new high-speed vessels, more savings in peak periods, and a service that is reliable and resilient for islanders, visitors and businesses. I think it's worth saying at this stage, just to be clear, that the proposed routes, or the routes that will be operational initially, are Poole, Portsmouth and St Malo, so no change from the existing setup. And DFDS also have a dedicated fleet of 4 vessels, which include a RoPax, which is freight and passengers, freight vessel, and 2 high-speed vessels. Just to be clear on that, I know there were some questions about that. Subject to completion of contract negotiations, the 2025 timetable will be published by the end of next week, which will allow passengers to begin booking for next year. That's what we're aiming for. I'm looking to see if Philip's nodding. We're trying for that.
Let me answer that a bit later, but we will of course work as hard as we can at all. We have dropped every single other priority in DFDS to get this ready. Of course, we will do everything we can to get it up and running as soon as we can.
Yeah, that's a key priority, because we're aware people
of course
want to start booking and planning their holidays, of course. For freight users, the agreement will mean a flat rate card rather than volume-based pricing as we've had in the past, to provide greater certainty and improve freight competitiveness, introduce or open the market for competition in freight forwarding. The Jersey bid process was thorough and independently evaluated. We received bids from both leading ferry operators and want to thank both companies who submitted for the thoroughness and competitiveness of their bids, and I think it's also worth recognising Condor's contribution to servicing Jersey in the previous years. I'll now hand over to Kirsten, who will run through some other messaging. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Minister. Hello, Philip. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you. I want to first of all thank the team led by Andy over there, who have worked incredibly hard over the last few weeks to make sure we go through this thorough and carefully considered process to come out with the right decision which provides the best ferry services for the island. I want to reiterate what the Chief Minister just said about these routes will serve St Malo, Poole and Portsmouth, and I think also really importantly for islanders, there will be inter-island services. It's a fact that today's operating agreement doesn't, is a Jersey-only service operating agreement, which in the operating agreement doesn't require services to Guernsey, but we obviously clearly have services to Guernsey, so this is no different from the existing situation. And so there, from a sports club perspective and other community groups, there will be absolutely inter-island services going forward. And I spoke yesterday with my counterpart, Deputy Inder in Guernsey, to confirm that he and I will now start talking about those inter-island services. But to be honest, it's going to be a conversation between the operators as much and the harbours as much as anything else. So with those is, I think, really important messages that islanders need to know about. This is a big change for the islands. For many of us, we've not seen any other operators for many, many years. I do remember a time when there were different operators, but if you're younger than I am, then you may not. And so it is a change, but it's, I believe, a change that is for the better, that will give us enhanced customer experience, will give us greater frequency of travel. It will also give us good pricing. And I think those are things that islanders want. Importantly as well, I think there's reliability and resilience that are built into this. DFDS is a large company which is able to deliver services and has a wide fleet of, please correct me if I'm wrong, about 70 vessels, Philip?
Yeah, that's about right.
So a fleet of 70 vessels that operate around Europe, that in itself gives us resilience that we are looking for, because we know that from Jersey's perspective, our economy can only thrive if we have excellent, reliable ferry services, and transparency in pricing is part of that, because that then enables anyone from supermarkets to the person ordering goods via online retailers to know what the freight pricing side of things is, and then that enables people to compete on top of that. Vitally, this partnership strengthens Jersey's role as a major hub for trade and tourism in the Channel Islands. I think that's really important too, and I know that DFDS want to work with Visit Jersey. They want to work with other organisations such as the Hospitality Association and the Chamber of Commerce to make sure that they are helping deliver tourists to the islands and helping the islands grow economically. And that economic development element is key in my thinking as to why this is important. As we look forward, DFDS, obviously subject to the contract negotiations, because you must remember we are at the preferred bidder stage and there are contract negotiations to take place, but I don't foresee any problems. But going forward, we will be seeing really important fleet investment, talking hundreds of millions of pounds being delivered into a new fleet of environmentally friendly ships. That kind of new fleet element will start in the next few years and be delivered in its entirety by the early 2030s. And I think that's really important as well. So that will give Jersey a leading edge fleet, a kind of world leading fleet, to be honest with you, environmentally sustainable. And I know that from the perspective of islanders who want to know about regularity of sailings, this Jersey only service will provide us with the opportunity to have more frequent services both to the UK and particularly to France. And that's something that I think will be of huge interest to islanders as well. So other than that, whether you have questions for me, for Chief Minister, for Andy or for Philip, we're ready to take your questions, if that's okay. Or unless Philip, did you want to say anything first? Sorry.